just have a few minutes to kill here before things get rolling at the Rob Evison Arena in Airdrie, Alberta today. Just figured I'd open up the forum. I've kind of said some arguable stuff here over the past 24 hours, so I figured I'd open up the platform. Anybody that wanted to ask any questions, come on in and let's discuss things here. So that's where we find ourselves on a Sunday, still 2 days away from game day against the Detroit Red Wings. Let me tell you, a guy like me, I was pushing pretty hard to try and find flights in and out of Detroit here over the past 24 hours and leading into the next 24 hours to see if there's anybody, namely like Jacob Chikrin, headed to Detroit from anywhere that he may currently be. Anyway, friends, as we're getting underway here, it's just one of those things where, like I said some arguable stuff yesterday. I know I said some arguable stuff, and I just figured I'd open up the platform for some questions. Anybody that wanted to ask anything, let you know, and see if you had any kind of brain teasers there for me on the live. The live, right? Like I said, I have some time to kill, so figured I would try and open up that platform. So, folks, welcome aboard. I see that we just finally popped some viewers in here, about 9. That's the worst part about going live on YouTube off your phone, is it takes about a minute and a half to get any viewers in. And all right, Owen, first question: who would I like to see added to the Oilers other than Chikrin or Bugstad? I think, simply put, more I hear about it, Sam Lafferty really sounds like a fit. That's kind of the tough part, is the more Sam Lafferty sounds like a fit, the more you're probably going to have to overpay for Sam Lafferty, like a guy who 2 months ago might have cost you a fourth round pick, kind of similar to Derek Brassard, because obviously Chicago will just kind of take whatever they can get for guys on the depth chart that might necessarily not be named Jonathan Taves or Patrick Kane. So that's kind of where I think the value in Sam Lafferty on the Blackhawks end has come up was substantially. Now, does that exclude the Oilers from acquiring him? No, I don't think so, right? Brandon Hagel, was it last year or the year before, cost the Tampa Bay Lightning a first round pick? Like that's what we're talking about here, right? Is that's kind of how value transitions throughout the year in terms of the NHL. All right, Jaws Blaze, I just want to say hello from New Brunswick. Thank you, and I really appreciate you appreciating the content for sure. That's definitely one thing that I know I don't convey enough sometimes, is that I really appreciate all you tuning in back home, because obviously can't do this whole thing without you guys. That's where it really comes down to, is I have a nice little platform here, but it's not because I've worked for it. It's because you guys believe in me, and that's one thing I always got to try and keep in mind and be very grateful for. By the way, drinking the A&W coffee this morning, and it might have the brew bar sleeve, but it's actually just a regular old double double. That's the best part. You know what? If you want a good double double, go to A&W. I will tell you that much right there. And who's my pick to fall out of the top 3 in the Pacific? I think there for a while I said it would be LA, but I honestly think Vegas might be the team. I know I might have mentioned that a couple of weeks ago at some point in a video, that I mentioned that I felt like Vegas would really fall off. And obviously, too, I thought it was more correlated to, once they lost the first position in the division, they would kind of just fall off. Obviously, we beat them. Things have transitioned over the past few weeks, and that really works. So, and Soldier, do I think trading Mr. Zach Kassian was a smart move for the Oilers? Here's the thing, right? With Zach Kassian, his expiration date had come. That's kind of what I would argue. I know he fought Clean Costin, yeah, when Arizona and Edmonton played each other earlier this year, and we got that's no good. Fire truck and ambulance rolling up to the rink. That's never a good sign. But no, it's one of those things. Is I think his expiration date had come because of both the both the contract and simply that rough, rugged goon kind of game. He wasn't as physical as he was the last year as compared to his first few years in Edmonton. And second to that is he'd been in a couple of fights, had a couple of concussions, and just purely from a Zach Kassian fan standpoint, I didn't want to see him fight anymore. And unfortunately, that just kind of takes away what Zach Kassian does well at $3.2 million, right? So that's a tough get for the Oilers, unfortunately, as they had to move on from him, and they gave up some there goes the old Facebook Messenger, but they had to give up some pretty big assets to get him. And realistically, though, we still got Reed Schaefer out of the deal, and you got rid of the contract and freed up $3.2 million in cap space. So it is what it is. And I mean, honestly, too, right? You just you don't know the other side of the argument because you can't see it, right? What would happen if Zach Kassian had remained an Oiler, right? I can't argue on that. I can't tell you about that because we just didn't see it happen, and that really sucks because, I mean, Zach's a great guy. Zach's one of the guys that over the years we reclaimed kind of deal and really turned into a value add player. So, yeah, that's where we sit with Zach Kassian. I didn't think I had that much to say about it, but I guess I do. And that's one of those things I don't even know what Zach's done in Arizona so far this year. So, but that's I don't know if I'll be going in the rink right away, but I guess we'll find out. Hopefully, no little guys down on the ice or anything, but guess we'll find out in a matter of moments, friends. Um, in terms of anything else I want to cover off here before the next question comes in, realistically, the big part is we got a game on Tuesday, which would mean against Detroit, it's probably a 5 o'clock start. So that's kind of a rough part for the Oilers. It's a 5 o'clock start out east. I'll be lucky to get home by 5:30, 6 o'clock. So the next live here probably won't be until about 6:30. Probably stream the third period if the Oilers are in the game. If the Oilers aren't in the game, if they're down by one, maybe. But I don't know if I want to come out live after rushing home on a Tuesday night if the Oilers are getting blown out 7-1 or something. Highly doubt that's happening against a team like Detroit, but it's the beauty of the NHL nowadays. You just don't know day to day what's going to happen. So, obviously, listening to the pregame show and a little bit of that first period on 6:30 Chet on Tuesday, that's always exciting. That's one thing doing what I do here on YouTube, I don't get enough time to listen to the radio broadcast as I would. And I will be honest, right? When I'm first game listening to Cam Moon, I'm like, ooh, this could be interesting. See if he actually pans out. And I think Mooners there done a very great job panning out for the Oilers, filling in, right? You think about the shoes that these guys have had to fill over the last 10, 15 years for the Oilers. You think about coming aboard Jack Michaels, filling in for Rod Phillips after he retired. Then you think about Cam Moon having to come in and fill in for Jack Michaels, who absolutely just took over Oilers fandom there for the past several years. So that's one of those things right now is it's nice that we got some quality guys, and I think too, having Bob Stauffer have his radio show and all that, plus be a color commentator on our broadcasts, a really big ad on the radio. And I think too, I don't know how many of you listen to the 6:30 Ched City Ford Face Off show. That is fantastic show. I think there's a lot of value added to Oilers games because of that show if you ever get a chance to listen on radio. So it's just some thoughts on the radio. I guess if anyone else has got a question here, we're approaching the 8 minute mark, and I think I gotta sit in the car for a little longer. So if anyone's got some questions, I'd appreciate it. But yeah, it's a quiet Sunday morning in Airdrie here. Just more or less rolled out of bed and all of a sudden got the invite down to the rink, so drove into town and yeah, here we are in the parking lot just waiting for Buddy to show up so as we can watch this game today. Just watching a minor hockey game for Buddy's kid this weekend, and usually a regular tradition for me on Sunday afternoon. I know a lot of you would wonder why I post a video at 1 o'clock on Sunday and then you don't hear from me until past about 6:30 every Sunday. Is usually I'm out and about watching whatever Buddy's kid has a game at about 2 or 3 in the afternoon on Sundays. Just one of those ways I can stay in the rink, put out those business cards. Yeah, I talk a lot about trying to get hockey tournaments here for Dolly TV at some point, and getting into the rinks in the local area, putting up business cards and seeing if anyone ends up emailing me out of the deal. That's kind of what matters here. Is it's nice to see. And anyway, oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry, I did not realize there were more comments. Here I am baffling around. Um, Anyway, Wilfred, you're saying that the Half Fanatics says we are in talks for Edmonton. I would not like that at all. Um, let's see. Um, what's going on here? What's going on? I don't think we need Edmondson. Okay, that's a response to that. I followed you on Instagram, Patrick. Oh, I like that comment. Okay, I don't need to discuss that one further. We've already discussed that one. Sorry, folks. I did not realize there were so many comments. My phone froze more or less, I guess. If I had to nail it down for one player to trade for Puljujärvi, who would it be? I think right now I would sit here and say, as I did in that video, Anthony Duclair is a really good option. Whether you have to give up more, just salary in, salary out, that's about the best move you can do. Um, Terry's waiting for another Puljujärvi rant. And is there any more questions? Yeah, there we go. So that's where we're sitting right now. Sorry, folks. Sorry that I missed those chats. I didn't realize that the comments keep going after you scroll a little bit. So that's all me. But Patrick, great to see you this afternoon. And of course, everybody else, Odin, um, Wilfred, and yeah, everybody coming into the chat as well if I haven't answered your question yet. Anyway, okay, now that I'm all embarrassed and stuff, I should probably go figure out if I'm going to be able to get into the rink here this afternoon or if plans have changed. So, friends, thanks so much this afternoon for hanging out with me a little bit. Really appreciate it. I will catch you a little later on today. We'll have more content coming. I promise you that. I'm sure something's about to change here for the Oilers, but um, no, thanks for killing about 12 minutes of my time. Really appreciate it, and we will talk to you in the next one.